Tomie has spoken during this program about how to tell a story visually. Of course, when it comes from a master like Tomie dePaola, it sounds easy, but it isn't easy. So we thought we would corner him and ask him to demonstrate how he breaks a story down visually. Is that all right with you, Tomie?
Yeah. It's usually seen behind the closed doors of my studio.
All right. Now we're inside. Come with me, will you? Inside Tomie's studio. I'm going to give you a situation that's a familiar situation.
Okay.
There's a young girl. Imagine she's wearing a cape and a hood. Maybe it's red, maybe it's blue.
All right.
And she has a basket of goodies to take to her grandmother, and she has to go through a dark and scary wood. And while in the woods, she's intercepted by a hungry wolf. Does that sound familiar at all?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit familiar.
A little familiar.
Okay.
So that's the general storyline.
All right.
Where would you begin?
Okay, I begin with, I try to think, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to show the little girl, or do I want to set the scene? And I think that because probably it'd be more interesting, eventually it's got to come to this, I'm going to just make a little shape that's going to be the little girl here. You know, pardon my loose drawing, but that's what you get in 30 seconds. And
I'm seeing a cape and a hood.
Yeah, and little feet. But then what I really would like to do is, get some dark trees in here, and notice how I'm, kind of enclosing her.
So she's framed.
So she's framed, and and then if I had gray, I'd probably put some shade in there, and then over in here.
He looks menacing.
Yeah, so that might, and maybe put her looking out this way, so she's not even aware of him. But he's going to be hidden in there, so the viewer can say, "Oh, don't go in there."
So what you've done here, this is very interesting. Earlier you spoke about that when you begin a picture book, you see it as a set design. You see it as a theatrical production.
Yeah, here it is.
So
yeah.
this is a very good illustration of that. This is your proscenium. Here's your stage, and you frame her. So our eye automatically goes to the center of the frame, even though she's not in the center of the drawing.
Yeah, and I probably would fill this in a little bit more so he's not quite so obvious, So. You do it with lighting on the stage, of course, you know.
And do you do it with lighting in a picture book as well?
Yeah, you can, or composition.
Right.
But if you notice, and I do this kind of naturally now, I start the way we read from left to right.
Yes.
So I want, this is a perfect page turner.
Before you turn the page, are you assuming that your audience is looking at this from left to right? Do we assume that?
That's the way we automatically read in the Western world?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why a book starts 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
left to right.
Does that mean that you would put the central attraction where you want the eye to go first on the left-hand side of the page?
That's what I would do personally to set up the situation.
And what else do you have to say about this illustration? Did you balance it so that you have the story coming in and the story coming in from this side? Was that active in your mind?
Looking at what I just rapidly sketched here, I have balanced it. I have the two sides of the page, because your eye is going to be drawn to this. What is that lurking in the shadows? I could even make him less obvious, which would be kind of interesting. So
that you're creating drama. You're really
trying to create drama
and danger.
Yeah, right, and danger. Yeah.
What we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
You want to do one more illustration with this
Sure.
story? Let's pick it up a little bit later, where she's now become aware of the wolf, and she is either being attacked, about to be attacked. They're in contact.
Okay.
So this would be a more climatic scene,
Yeah.
right?
What I would do, because if you know the story.
I think I know the story. I think we all do.
She meets the wolf. And
Oh, look! Now we're into a close-up.
Yeah. Because it's not only theater, but it's cinematic.
Yes.
And this is the perfect. And I'm making faces. If you're looking at it, I'm making.
Is that part of the procedure?
Part of the thing. Yeah.
Sound effects.
But he's going to have this little wicked leer.
So now,
see
discuss the
what I've done?
composition. Yes, I see what you did. Discuss
What I've
the
done is I
composition.
put her looking up. You know, she's made her small
Mm-hmm.
because she's fragile. She's in danger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's got kind of, even with this little dot, not kind of this weary expression. And he is like
Looming.
arching, looming. That's a very good word, looming over her. What I would probably do for the composition is add his tail up this way, because that would be kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you break it down, you think in
you know.
terms of essentially where the camera would be in a movie, or where the viewer's
Well, let's-
point of view is.
So let's do this, okay? All right, so we get this long shot, right? And then bingo, we're at the close-up.
Right. And so going from the long shot to the close-up
Yeah.
creates automatic suspense. And
Like what's going to happen next?
yes.
Yeah.
All right, here's another situation. It's the first day of school for a young boy.
All right.
He's very anxious. This is a story of his walk to school, where everything that he sees on his walk to school assumes anxious proportions. So what might be the ordinary little puppy is now suddenly a looming monster.
Oh my
Or what
goodness.
might be a tree. It's going to have a happy ending, because by the time he gets to school, he'll be comfortable and settled in his school. But this is his walk to school on the first day, and it's the walk to school shows his fear.
Okay, okay. Draw a horizon line, right? And maybe indicate a thing over here, which is the school, all right? So, and he's here. This is where he starts, but let's put him here, because that's an awful lot of space there. Okay, so put these, you know, he lives in the country, so there's these huge elm trees, you know, but they're all menacing, and they all have, in the bark, there's, you know,
Faces.
you know, like that wonderful scene in Snow White.
Screaming faces, yes.
And he's looking up back here, and he's going this way.
So they're behind him.
Yeah, and there's
Screeching.
and there's something in front, and then one of them, here's say an ordinary one, and then there's this big thing here, you know. And that's really the dog. But here's a little puppy, you know, over here, you know, or a bunny rabbit, or a bunny called Puppy. Yeah. So I try to. This would give me the shorthand that I knew. What I would try to do is, you know, as he moves forwards, what he's just been through is ordinary and safe, and he's in the danger thing, and he's going towards a dangerous situation.
So you're actually illustrating the drama. You're
Trying
actually
to, yeah.
Well, you have, I think, because
Okay.
you've expressed the whole situation, which is some of the world is ordinary, some of the world is
scary.
scary and haunted. He's trapped in the middle. Compositionally,
Right.
he's in the middle.
Yeah,
And
and
he's heading toward the light.
yeah.
Heading toward the light.
Or the unknown, the school, you know, the big.
Let's do
big
one more
black building.
scene, and that
Okay.
is the scene where he enters school and finds relief.
We go and, again, I'm just going to be very quick and rough with this.
So the first thing I'm noticing is that he's larger now. We're on him. The spotlight is on him, so that you get more of his expression. It's a large person, a large authority
Okay.
person. So now discuss the
Okay, so
composition here.
that's him. You'll know it's him by his outfit, you know. And there's you know, there's other children. They're bigger. There's nothing to be afraid of, and there's going to be a very lovely grown-up who's the teacher.
Smiling teacher, and he's in the center,
Yeah,
so that you can see
so you're focused on him.
and you can see his
He's smiling.
expression.
Yeah.
The scene, I noticed that this is a very balanced. That the other compositions are slightly off balance. Is that a way that?
Yeah, that's a way to provide tension, drama, fear. You throw it off, you skew it off a little bit. You know, the movie that comes to mind is the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, you know, where
Yes.
everything's at these strange
Angles,
pulled
up
angles.
angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking.
Whereas this is a pretty serene composition. And also notice I put everybody with their arms up
Yes.
and open.
Yes.
You know,
This looks very Renaissance,
I'd probably,
very-
yeah, very Giotto, very
This,
Fra
yes,
Angelico.
yes.
You know, if I was doing this illustration, I'd probably add, you know, something cheerful up here, like, you know, like we had when we were kids in school. You know, the letters along the black. I'd add some atmosphere.
So
the
this is-
classroom
right.
would be fun and pretty and happy.
And also, it speaks to the point that you mentioned, which is that you like to include details for the child's eye, so that we're not only focusing on him. The storyteller part is focusing on him, but a child who's going to look at this book repeatedly might even learn the alphabet.
Sure. And then I might even add, you know, some close-up children, just to give it maybe some depth. You know?
Oh, their backs looking,
Yeah.
welcoming him.
Yeah.
This is very interesting, Tomie. It's very interesting to see how the composition reflects the tone and the mood of what the story is trying to say. This really is visual storytelling.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what I do, and I've done. It's happened over the years. When I do this kind of thing, these are my thumbnails. You know, I call them thumbnails because that's what they are. You know, you can do them with your thumb, and they're not. They're purposely not refined. I mean, I'm not going to draw a hand like that and send it to the publisher, you know. But they're just to give me the beginnings, and then I can refine it from here. Some people don't like to do that. Some people like to make everything perfect, and they do tracings. They'll do this character, and then they'll trace it. I can't do that. It loses all its spontaneity and, you know, action and fun for me.
Well, and also by keeping it loose like this, if you want to change it, you don't feel so bad about throwing it
Exactly.
away, right?
You don't. No. Yeah. That's exactly it. You know, what's going to hurt to rip this up?
Right. Well, I like it. It's better
Well,
than
I'll
I could
sign
do.
it then.
Okay. Thank you, Tomie.